only using the intellect, but also using silence, because we understand that it's not enough understanding, we must also feel and experience. Because experience shows me the reality of what I'm aiming for. Is it love? Is it union with God? Is it sweetness? Whatever it is, one thing is to understand it, another is to go into silence and give attention with my heart and with my mind to be absorbed in it. So, in this contemplative talk of today, we'll not be talking fast. You will not be thinking fast. If I'm not talking fast, you won't think fast. And, so, in the sentences sometimes I will stop, so the translators shouldn't think I have finished. It's just a pause between thoughts. And that pause between thoughts, let me just be still and hold that thought, whatever thought you may choose from the sentence, hold that thought. I, the charioteer, I, the soul, have to really rein in the horse of my mind and my intellect. My intellect cooperates the most, but my mind horse just jumps and jumps and jumps. To experience, and this is the key to everything, isn't it? Experience. To experience as my personal reality, the angelic consciousness, I need to be able to hold a pure thought for as long as possible. And this takes a lot of practice. But it's wonderful practice because the results are miraculous. There's a great metamorphosis that takes place, where the human becomes an angel, and that angel becomes a guide and a friend to millions of its brothers and sisters in this global family, because it's a great need now. I think we are not doing just this silence of 2 days because we want to cool off or, just be quiet. It's a much deeper thing. It's to really bring my eternal blueprint into my consciousness, not only as a soul, but the destiny of the end of every kalpa as an angel. To serve, to embrace. For humanity and nature and the elements need a divine hug. God gives this. The angels are the instruments of God's divine embrace to reach the human family and Mother Nature. So do I believe I can metamorphosize? Yes? Then that's 3/4 of the work done. Not half, it's 3/4 done. So, but to make it real and practical, it can never be done only with knowledge. I do need, silence is a womb, and in that womb of silence, this new consciousness is created. It is said that angels are created in the silence of God's heart. That is, in the deepest, the purest love that a human soul has ever experienced is only from God. Whether we're talking golden age, silver age, copper age, iron age, it's only from God. And I am very grateful that I have this opportunity to be able to go into that pure divine love as actually a reality, not just an abstract idea. So, if I cultivate silence, I will move away. Well, rather than move away, I will integrate the idea into myself as a reality when I start to go into the only thing that can really take me there, silence. Silence is where I surrender to the beloved, to the friend. In the Muslim culture, they say that angels are made from pure jewels. And even in India, they speak of the different jewels, you know, the topaz fairy, the emerald fairy, they say farishta. Have I understood deeply that it is a blessed time? Because deep in myself, if I really feel it's a blessed time, there will be no effort not to waste time. I just won't do it. I just won't do it. You know one special practice that Brahma Baba used to do? He did many. But one was, he would visualize himself in the angelic form. He existed there in the angelic form, but to bring that angelic form here onto the world stage as a reality, he had to be connected to God and to his destiny. That is the angelic form. He was Adam and he was the first angel. And so his practice was to concentrate his mind. First of all, actually, it was complete surrender. You can't concentrate without surrender to one. It won't work. But surrender to one, understanding the destiny of the time, of himself. And then he used to always imagine himself in this orb of light. Because in the angelic regions he was made of light, so he had to bring that here. And once he talked about eyes being like magic boxes of light. That when you look at people, they just feel something totally out of this world. They feel hope, comfort, they feel trust. A lot, which is missing a lot these days. But Brahma Baba was the first to do all of this. So we said 18 steps. People ask, why 18 steps? Why not 15 or 19? Well, we just wanted to keep it even. So the 18 chapters of the Gita. So 18 in that sense, or could be more, definitely could be more than 18, definitely. And the Gita, it's Arjuna. Arjuna, of all the brothers, he was the one who practiced the most. You know, every morning he would get up and, you know, and with his bow and arrow practice hitting the target, till he became expert. But he practiced. He wasn't born an expert. He became an expert. It's very important to keep this in mind. We all become, we were not born this. We become it through God's love and God's education. So Arjuna would get up and practice because it was his talent, but no matter how talented someone may be, all have to practice. Practice with faith and confidence. Enjoy the mistakes because he could refine himself through those mistakes. Do I realize that mistakes are for me to refine myself? They're never a waste of time. This is as a human becomes angel, they start to understand these subtle things. Refinement. Through practicing, and that practicing may not always be successful, but it doesn't matter. At least I did it. The fact that I did it means I learned something. I accumulate some experience. I know how to do it better next time. So Arjuna in a dialogue with God, God was his friend, and he dialogued. He trusted. He was willing to learn. He asked questions in order to find clarifications. So we are students, like Brahma Baba was a student. But there's another word that actually is more appropriate than just the word student. And that is the word apprentice. Apprentice is a student too, but it's different. I am an apprentice in God's workshop. A student listens and writes in silence, concentrated. Apprentice also does this, but as well in the silence of observation. The apprentice watches every step of the master. And then the master says, "You do it now." An apprentice has to do it. A student may not do it. A student may just theorize. But an apprentice must do it. And we have to become apprentices. Apprentice means hands-on. Apprentice means dharana. If I do not have a consistent dharana, where I am true to my aim, to my purpose, then I'll just be a student. An apprentice actually cultivates mastery. Brahma Baba was an apprentice of God. God's sanskars were his blueprint. God's sanskars were his guide. And through those sanskars, he understood they are the basis of a civilization of truth, the Golden Age. But the Golden Age would happen after he as an apprentice and then other apprentices imbibed, put into their consciousness the subtlety of knowledge. And the subtlety of knowledge, when it's put into my being, this is called purity. It is said, an angel is made of the pure thought of God. An apprentice doesn't remain an apprentice. An apprentice evolves and learns to master. And if he evolves or she evolves deeply enough, they are able to guide others. The supreme, pure, eternally pure and uncorrupted being, the benevolent being, the pure reservoir of all that is eternally true in the drama, he comes and says, become my apprentices. Both because you have mercy on yourself, but also you have mercy on the creation. Because an apprentice learns the art of generosity. Can never be content with only their liberation. It's like a work that is a quarter finished, a painting that is a quarter finished. A true apprentice becomes full. So Arjuna, apprentice, and Daddy mentioned such a very beautiful phrase yesterday. She said, who are we? I don't know if you remember. Avatars of love. Actually said avatars of love and truth. And I thought, avatars of love, what a great title. An avatar. What is an avatar? Actually, the true avatar of this age is, of course, the God himself. He's the avatar, the one. He comes, yes, on the basis of love in order to teach truth. Because his first pull is the love. But an avatar soul, the characteristic is their purity, but their purity means what? They are not influenced. They are not influenced by anything. That's why they can do their benevolent work. The Christ soul, had to be a pure soul, not influenced. The Buddha soul, all these. But of course at the confluence is God himself, as the avatar coming into Brahma Baba. And then, what is quite unusual, because usually avatars it's first birth, the first time. But the greatness, the unusual thing of the confluence age is that through the connection with the original, the true avatar of love, God makes his children, according to their surrender, also avatars of love. Am I an avatar of love? Maybe I still have to do some more apprenticeship, but I can see half the way there. Avatars never criticize or complain or compare. They will always have eternity in their heart and intellect. They they refuse to get lost in petty and trivial things, whether from Maya, whether from others, whether from the self. No, they understand, I am more than that. I will not allow myself. And they keep connected, not just now with the Supreme Avatar, but now with Brahma Baba, who became an avatar as the example. So I was thinking of Daddy's words and what she said, what takes away the sacredness of the avatar consciousness was actually angelic consciousness. You see that? What destroys all of that in an instant? Mine. An angel will never say, my service. My service country. My service center. It's not at all in their vocabulary. A true angel will be puzzled by the word. A true angel feels a belonging to the whole. This is avatar. So Daddy was saying it, and she said it so clearly. The avatar consciousness of love and truth. And truth is, and love is, no selfishness. It's therefore no pettiness. The avatar of love and truth remains loyal and faithful. Faithful to themselves, but faithful also to the people they serve. So an avatar brings newness, a new way of thinking, a new way of behaving, is the basis of a new culture being created. And this is not a fantasy now. It's very subtle, so often even sometimes Brahmins cannot quite, they believe it but don't get it as a reality of themselves because it's subtle. I need silence to catch and create the subtlety, because power and truth is in the subtle. God is subtle. Can't conceptualize him in just, with words and things. We've got to feel the closeness to Baba and Brahma Baba too. Without silence, I will never, my intellect will not be far-reaching. It will not see the future. It will not see the destiny of the self. And for that I need to have the renunciation of letting go, letting go, letting go of second best. Letting go of deceiving supports. Why am I here now? Why am I in Madhuban? Have a good time? Or just want a good experience and then, go home, and after 2 weeks gradually it fades? How can I hold the sacredness of this place inside myself? And really, such precious, precious insights of Daddy, so many decades of deep apprenticeship, but she's become avatar, this is what I felt last night when she was speaking. But to hold this, it shouldn't fade away. So in these days of 2 days of silence, I think it's a very, very good start to hold the subtle and the real in myself as a reality. That's my support. And that is, it's Baba Bapdada, the father, the elder brother. Then can face anything. Souls are waiting. I remember Baba saying souls are waiting. So as the human consciousness is changing into the angelic, what are some of the things that are visible? It's 18 steps. I won't mention them all. As I said, it's just a symbolic number. But one thing that changes the consciousness from the human to the angelic is the experience of the incorporeal complete stage. That is, I am complete as a being. I have let go of dependencies that I thought create my sense of being, my sense of value. I've let go of them. I've recognized them as false. They may be pretty. They may sound good. They may look good, but they're not real. The apprentice intellect has recognized that. So it's able then to shift. And so, complete. Two things that the apprentice will always do, the apprentice angel, always. The self deeply, in silence, experience it again and again, from different angles, and the experience of God. These are the two reference points. God is a complete being. Brahma Baba now is also a complete being. So we have a double help, a double engine. Brahma Baba only had one. We have double. And more, the daddies and the daddies' examples. And then my original complete stage. When I, the apprentice student, I, the soul, have this consciousness, it becomes then very easy to cut out unnecessary processes. It's not the time now for many processes. Because when I lose the essence, the soul tends to go into an complicated expansion, around and around. All the right points, for example, about tolerance, detachment, all the right points, a lot of detail on it, but it's not achieved inside. And then the next workshop is like that, and then the next one is like that. We do need clarification, but after the clarification, the apprentice acts, decides and acts. Otherwise, it's just going around and round. I have to decide. And once I decide, I start to experience the complete stage. I will understand the mechanisms that take me out of that subtle consciousness, soul consciousness and angelic consciousness. I will understand the mechanism of attachment. I will understand, and I should understand, the mechanisms of fear. Not to put things under the carpet and think, oh, they don't exist, I'm an angel. No. I have to be realistic. But be careful, sometimes in the name of being realistic, we go to an extreme of great expansion. So yes, let me understand the mechanisms of ego, but my reference point is my pure self. It's my reference point not as an idea, but as a fact. The difference between idea and facts. So let me understand the mechanism, know how it works, but let me always be connected to the reference points, the self, the original Father, and the angelic Father. Keep them in my consciousness, then it's much easier. Things are much easier than we think. I came to that conclusion a few months ago. Sometimes I've complicated things in the name of trying to understand. Yes, we need understanding, but it shouldn't go on and on and on and on and on. It should stop, I should stop, and then in silence, deep inner silence, act on those understandings. The action, I can call it practice, I can call it being attentive. And the most effective action is when it happens when I can be very still and very concentrated. So, see, humans analyze, but angels know. They just know. No analysis. An intuition of the intellect. The intellect works intuitively. They can pick things up. But the right intuition, a benevolent intuition, not a criticizing intuition. Humans, they criticize a lot. If you're criticizing a lot, the apprenticeship is not working. I'm not a good apprentice. I may be just a student. I'm not an apprentice. As if I'm a true apprentice, that human side, that negative human side of being critical, criticizing, it starts to diminish. Because an angel empathizes. An angel, you can call it empathy, you can call it compassion, you can call it whatever, but it cares. Criticizers never care. They're just interested in being right. A clever rightness. A clever rightness. And I've seen this sometimes. Sharp intellects can be very clever, but very unkind. Very unkind. So the angel will care, will empathize. No details needed. Whose fault it is it wrong, is it not, whatever. They act in the capacity of their benevolent consciousness. They don't say to somebody, your karma has got you here. You did this and that and the other. That's why you... Angels do not talk or think karma. They do not. The apprentice has learnt it all and realizes that just give. Just give the pure. That's all that's needed. And humans love diagnosing. They like diagnosing. The reason for this, the reason for the other, the reason for this, the reason for this. They go into details of it. Angelic consciousness, again, whatever sickness is there, will give healing. the mind, the life of a brother soul or sister soul is very disturbed, very disturbed. The angel will just give peace, and the peace will heal. Another one wants a revenge on something or someone. They like to see others punished. The angel will not debate and say, but it's not good to try to punish others. It's not healthy. Just give the energy of forgiving, Love. They do not go into diagnosis. Maybe as an apprentice they did, because they needed to understand certain mechanisms, but they've moved beyond and gone into that pure, that pure state. Humans are always, asking for things, and sometimes they ask with doubt and fear and worry, because this is the religion of this time. Will I have enough security? Will this relationship last? Will I have that? God give me this, God give me that. But, they're asking. But if there's doubt when asking, what will be received? Angels, they trust. They trust the pure. Whether it is pure actions, pure thoughts, pure feelings, they trust the pure. There'll always be a good outcome. They trust the principle of time. That is the drama. The negative has to finish, the pure has to begin. That's a principle. According to, they trust these words, according to the drama. Baba has often said, according to the drama, I am the instrument for purification. And when you trust, nothing is so bad. Human beings hear a lot of things, and they like to hear. Sometimes they say, I'm all ears. The unfortunate thing is, when human beings are all ears, also eventually they become all mouth too. And they, not only do they say what they hear, but they, paint it. And also they hear surface things. The apprentices raise their consciousness to the level of angelic. They don't hear anymore. Angels don't hear, they listen. Like the stethoscope of the doctor, they put, hair to the person's chest to really listen to what's there. How's the rhythm? Angels have this ability. They can go to the heart of time and understand everything about drama. They can put their divine ear to, the heart of a person. And they can listen and see beyond what a person thinks of themselves. The person may not think of themselves as in a good way, but the angel can see them in the good way because they listen. They're able to understand the depths. And this is also, even beyond angel, even between humans, it's very good to listen. To see the essence. And humans always think in order to make things clear and to clarify, they have to speak a lot. course, depends on the country, but well, some is they feel they have to think a lot, some feel they have to speak a lot, some feel they think they have to feel a lot, but you don't have to do a lot of any of these three. If I remain silent, everything becomes clear. Silence means connected to myself and to the Father. But humans do speak a lot, and so much of the talk is misleading, sometimes on purpose, and sometimes it's just, habitual misunderstanding. People very quickly jump to conclusions. So humans speak, angels don't. Angels don't speak. Like God. They do. If they do speak, it's with their thoughts and feelings, but, they don't have the clutter of devices. And what happens also as a human, justifying, it's not my fault, they did this to me. This is why I'm acting like that. I can see from their eyes that they must have heard from so-and-so that, I was like this, and this is why I can't this and I can't that. Human beings always justify themselves. Angels don't justify. One with an angelic consciousness, they reconcile, they harmonize. They have that power of purity. And because they are avatars of love, they are able to reconcile things that seem impossible. And they do it with their being, they do it with their feelings of acceptance. So I think now we can just look at a short slideshow about human consciousness and angelic consciousness. But it's important to know that in between there's the apprentice consciousness. Not just the student, but the apprentice consciousness. And the silence of the apprentice to observe and reflect and on one level they copy, but then on the other level they become creative. It's like a dancer, first she has to learn the right steps and then she can innovate and create. Like a poet has to know the structure of the language that he or she is, living and speaking. But then they can become very flexible with it and creative with it. But only a master can become truly creative. First, apprenticeship. So it's not jumping from human into angelic, it's that stage of apprenticeship that, creates that bridge of accessibility. Okay, so we will look at this slideshow to remember some of these things, and then maybe I'll do a very short commentary after, very short, and then just silence. And in that silence, you can choose one of these. Choose, which apprenticeship you have. Is it now learning to speak less and listen more? Diagnosing less and healing with purity? Which one? Because 18 is a lot, just choose one in the silence we're going to do afterwards. And then the silence day, whether it's today or whether it's tomorrow, will be very fulfilling. It gives, it opens a subtle energy that cannot be opened just simply through intellect and words. Although they're useful, these are very useful, but deep depth requires this silence. Brahma Baba was silent very often. He was the master teacher, but also the master apprentice. And he used the space of silence to experience and to experiment. So, Om Shanti.
Angels hear us when we are quiet. There is so much pain and sorrow in people. Genuine spiritual love is often missing. All we see is very hollow and a great disappointment. So where can we find hope? Is it possible for a human soul to spread the light of hope to the world? How long is the bridge between human and angelic consciousness? Humans ask, angels trust. Humans analyze, angels know. Humans wait, angels create. Humans judge, angels discern. Humans separate, angels embrace. Humans correct. Angels inspire. Humans learn. Angels remember. Humans process. Angels are. Humans measure. Angels donate. Humans justify. Angels reconcile. Humans defend. Angels accept. Humans diagnose. Angels heal. Humans criticize. Angels empathize. Humans love. Angels cherish. Humans think. Angels feel. Humans speculate. Angels realize. Humans hear. Angels listen. Humans speak. Angels don't.
Quietness, stillness, silence, a clean new space in my mind and in my heart, a new space to create a new life, a new world. Baba, I have become your apprentice. an apprentice of truth, an apprentice of love, an apprentice of peace. And in this apprenticeship to the purest consciousness and the highest generosity, I am learning. And as I learn, as I come closer and closer into your heart, I remember. I remember this time for all eternity. I remember this time is sacred, miraculous, blessed. I remember. And I follow you beyond, far beyond, in the angelic world, in the world of service. My consciousness becomes serviceable, free of any shadow. Baba, my father, my elder brother, my angelic father, I am here with you in an orb of light. Baba, I become an avatar of love, of truth. In the world of violence. In a world that has lost all its direction. An avatar of love. An instrument to plant the seeds of truth in the hearts silently, subtly traveling throughout the earth. You guide me, and I plant these golden seeds, each with a different flower, a different result. But all the avatars must plant these seeds, because the new play will begin, and all the actors return home with a seed which will bloom at its own time, in its own way. Baba, Here I remain with you in the silence, in the sweet sacred silence of our eternal friendship, a friendship that is for all eternity, all eternity. I remain here in your service, in your heart. Planting the seeds of newness in all my brothers and sisters. All souls must receive something from you, each one. Each one. This is the blessing of this diamond time. All receive something. I remain here with you in this awareness, in this pure awareness of the angel, of the avatar of love. Silent, full, complete, and generous. Love, peace, light. Om Shanti. I am peace. I am light. I am love. I am a soul. I am a soul.